What is up, guys? EJ here, aka PuckBond007, and welcome to the Movie Reviewers 100, this great collaboration channel on YouTube and Facebook that I am proud to be a part of. So this week is another sad week, of course, because it's another tribute week. Last week we did a tribute to Robin Williams, who passed away last Monday, but the next day, Hollywood legend Lauren Bacall passed away as well. Not as tragic, of course, as Robin Williams' death. She lived a long life, almost to 90. But yeah, one of the true greats of the golden age of Hollywood. Who else could be synonymous with Bogey and Bacall? I mean, that's a tandem, a duo. That's just part of Hollywood legend, and she was a great actress, a great beauty, worked a long time. And one of the films I'm going to talk about today is one of the Bogey and Bacall greats, because those are my favorite films starring her, To Have and Have Not from 1944. The Big Sleep, which is what I wanted to review, because it's my favorite of the three, but Scott, he already decided he wanted to do that one, so I'm going to let him do that. So the film I am going to talk about came out in 1948, and that is Key Largo, written and directed by John Huston. John Huston, one of the great directors and writers of this era as well, with greats like The Maltese Falcon, The Treasure of the Sierra Madre, which is one of my favorite films of the 40s. The Asphalt Jungle from 1950, one of the film that sort of discovered Marilyn Monroe. He also directed The African Queen, and these are all all-star Humphrey Bogart, who of course stars in this film, Key Largo, along with Lauren Bacall. The film is set in the Florida Keys, the southernmost point of the United States, a string of islands beyond Florida that are linked by a causeway, and that's where the film starts off. Humphrey Bogart plays a GI, Frank McCloud. He's on his way to Key Largo, to the Largo Hotel, to visit the father, played by the great Lionel Barrymore, of one of the guys he commanded during World War II. This film takes place right after World War II. I don't know if it's set in 1948 or like 46, 47, but right after the war, obviously. And the film starts off with him on the bus heading towards Key Largo and the Largo Hotel, which Lionel Barrymore is the owner of. There also is Lauren Bacall. She plays Norma Temple. She is the wife of this fallen soldier during the war, and is therefore the daughter-in-law of Lionel Barrymore. But when Frank McCloud, Humphrey Bogart, winds up at the hotel, he's not greeted very warmly. He finds that the hotel is actually closed, and these sort of rough-looking guys, while they're dressed nicely in suits, tell him it's closed, go away. There's a big storm coming, there's a hurricane coming towards the coast, and he just tells them, hey, I just want to see the owner, I want to talk to him about his son, and so on. So yeah, but we soon realize that these guys at the bar who tell Humphrey Bogart to piss off, essentially, that they're hoods, they're mobsters, and they work for the great Johnny Rocco, played by the always great Edward G. Robinson, who's just great in this film, absolutely fantastic. And the film sort of goes off from there. It's based on a play by Maxwell Anderson, and it has a very stagey feel. The first time I saw this film was 6-7 years ago, when I was really into watching all these classic films that I'd never seen before, and I was watching all these great movies from the 40s and 50s and so on. and I watched this one after I saw To Have and Have Not and The Big Sleep. It's my least favorite of the three, like I said. Um, yeah, so it has a very stagey, play-like feel to it. The film really sort of only takes place in a couple of locations, mainly in this hotel. But the scene where Johnny Rocco is basically getting dressed, and the hoods sort of gather all the people in the hotel together in his bedroom. We've got Humphrey Bogart, Lionel Barrymore, um, Lauren Bacall, obviously. There's like three guys that work for Johnny Rocco, and then there's also the great Clara Trevor, who won a Best Supporting Actress for her role in this movie. She plays Johnny Rocco's girlfriend. Very loud, very drunk throughout the whole movie. Very opinionated. She sort of gets in the way of everything and everybody. So yeah, Johnny Rocco and his mobsters, his guys, they're hanging out in this hotel. They've taken over it essentially. That's why they don't want Humphrey Bogart there. They're there to make this deal with some other mobsters who are coming in with some kind of shipment, and then they're gonna escape to Cuba, and they want Humphrey Bogart to drive the boat for them to go to Cuba. Um, yeah, so it's a very stagey, play-like film. Great performances. Bogart and Bacall, great, obviously. Edward G. Robinson, just awesome as Rocco. I just love the conversations he has with his guys and Humphrey Bogart. There's a lot of talk about wise guys, and guys say "see" a lot. Listen here, see, that kind of thing. Yeah, very cool, very stylish. The music by, I believe it's Max Steiner, is really good. Yeah, the score by Max Steiner is really good. There's a hurricane, like I said, that comes in, so there's some decent special effects. There's also a subplot involving the local Indian population. There's some cops looking for some escaped convicts who happen to be Indians. Native Americans, if you prefer, for the times, but when this was made, they just refer to them as Indians. And there's a bunch of Native Americans like huddled outside the hotel while the wind and the rain is blowing. That's quite a funny moment. So yeah, it's a good film. Not my favorite film noir, and certainly not my favorite of the Bogey and Bacall films, but it's one of the best. It's a great location, a great setting. Of course, Key West, Key Largo, and the Florida Keys, and that whole dynamic of those islands out there at the end of Florida. It's just a really cool setting, great cast. Definitely worth checking out if you want to check out some classic film noir and some classic Lauren Bacall. So make sure you check out the other videos from the guys this week. It's going to be a good week, although sadly another tribute week. Had a lot of these this year, but that comes with the territory. It's always good to remember these actors and actresses, especially the classic ones, because we don't really talk about old Hollywood enough on YouTube, the movie community, and so on. So when you get a chance to revisit one of these great legends of Hollywood, always jump at the opportunity. So yeah, thank you for watching as always, and until next time, I'll see ya.
Bond. James Bond.